Hello, Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and welcome to May. We start the month off with all planets direct, other than Pluto and Aquarius, which is going retrograde on May 5th, but is now here to stay and will not go back into Capricorn in our lifetimes. Mercury is out of shadow, and Venus will be out of shadow by May 26th in Aries, right when Saturn moves in, along with a newly entered Neptune in Aries for the next 14 years. Saturn will remain in Aries from May 26th until April 13th, 2028. However, the next few weeks will just be him dipping his toe into this new energy, new house. And then Saturn will retrograde on July 14th this summer to finish up some remaining business in your Pisces 7th partnership house before coming back into your 8th on November 28th, 2025 to stay again until April 2028. Don't worry about all the dates that I'm mentioning. I will write them down for you in the description box down below. Saturn naturally rules your 5th house of children, fun, love, luck, and self-expression, as well as your 6th Aquarius house of health, diet, service, pets, work, and rental income, and the people you hire. With the ruler of the 5th and the 6th going into your 8th, and the 8th house represents death, rebirth, transformation, debts, secrets, taxes, chunky money we don't receive but we earn, chunky money we receive but don't earn, like rebates, inheritance, and loans, investment money, etc., royalties, things like that. You could be receiving a chunk or sum of money that is a one-time payout, maybe for like a creative project that you may have put hard work into, like writing a book, and the proceeds will be showing up in the 8th house. Or maybe you and a partner have been working on starting a business, as another example, and now when Saturn leaves the 7th and heads into the 8th, you could be seeing a payout or financial rewards can show up. You can be drawn into creative forms of expression or a passion project that begins now and will complete by the time Saturn leaves in 2028. And it can have something to do with mystery writing, or the deeper aspects of life somehow. You could be writing a book about esoteric matters, or something that has themes around psychology, healing, or spirituality, with the 8th house being highlighted and Neptune now taking up residence there along with Saturn after having spent 3 years in your house of partnerships and business and love. And by the way, I think you'll be relieved with having Saturn leave your 7th house as well, because that could have created restrictions or difficulties or blockages in your partnerships, serious partnerships in business and love. Pluto from your 6th house of work is supporting something new that you are about to embark on with regard to healing, therapy, transformation, or this creative work that may change what you do for a career as well. For example, if you are working on a communication project, book or podcast, etc., over the next 3 years, where Saturn will require you to put in hard work and effort and can restrict resources that you share with another or receive in lump sums. By the time you finish that project, you may be bringing in resources that come in from others, as the 8th house is a shared resource house, as well as have a new title in the 10th house area, where Uranus is moving into. And the 10th house is your public persona, fame, father figures, government positions, political positions, career, the legacy we wish to leave behind. And Uranus is moving here in July. This could look like no longer, having a workaday job where you are relegated to a brick and mortar structure, and having more freedom in the way that you earn a living and how you do it. Uranus is also highlighted at this time in an outer triangle of support. And this is happening between your 10th house over to Neptune and Saturn in the 8th, and Pluto and Aquarius in the 6th. These are all money houses, so Uranus also rules that 6th house, so it is lending even more importance to you not only wanting more freedom, but needing more freedom in your life with regard to what you do for a living, as it flows in a trine to Pluto, showing the work that you do will be very transformative and even regenerative for you and meaningful as well. With Saturn and Neptune moving into this 8th house, you could also, over the years, tap into your spiritual, maybe even psychic gifts, and maybe you could be taking your 8th house experiences and being able to monetize that as a career, like starting an esoteric business or an internet-based business around tarot, astrology, etc., after a period of learning where the student becomes the teacher by the time this transit is over. You could also be meeting a profound love interest if you haven't already, since you have the North Node of Fate, Rahu, sitting in your 7th house of partnership until July 2026. The ruler of your 7th is Neptune, who has moved into your 8th house. And this could look like meeting a partner who may have maybe even like a slight accent or be from a different country, as Rahu is foreign and Neptune can represent foreign shores as well. Also, this could be someone from a past life, as Neptune rules the house of past lives. They could also be a person who's very spiritual in nature or very empathetic. They could be psychic as well, very intuitive. They could be a spiritual teacher, healer, doctor, therapist on another note. Maybe they deal with helping people through traumatic experiences as a healer, or maybe they themselves are a writer or someone who have to spend time in seclusion, writing a book or mastering coursework that is spiritual, religious, or maybe even metaphysical in nature is a way to start a new career. If you and a serious partner had separated after having Saturn transit that 7th for the past 3 years, which I am sure was not easy and required work and effort, in love or business partnerships, you could around this time be going separate ways, and this may be showing up here in the 8th house where Saturn may restrict money that comes in from another. Saturn restricts or blocks wherever he transits, teaching you to master that house that he spends time in, so that when he leaves, as long as you put in the hard work that he requires you to do, you will not only have created something solid that is built to last, but you will also have created your own sovereignty. Saturn rules over stable structures, both figuratively and literally, so maybe you'll be restructuring your taxes over the next few years, or learning about investments, or finding an accountant who will help you tighten the belt in this area. I know I'm not a Virgo rising, but I just went through something similar where, I was dealing with tax issues and found a good accountant who can help me work on that area. You can find an accountant who will help you tighten the belt in that area and show you where you may be leaking money, or strategize a way to pay down debt. The 8th house is a debt house, and the good thing about Saturn here is that he restricts the debts. This person who comes in to help may be coming in to pay a past life debt to you, with Saturn being here as well. And by the time that Saturn moves on, you may find that you have much more money after you have made all of these changes and learned how to manage debt and your tax bracket and taxes and bank accounts better. Saturn always leaves a gift at the door when he moves on, as long as you are the good student and do everything morally and correct. You're Virgo. I'm not worried about that. And putting in the hard work and effort. And again, Virgos are, I feel like along with Capricorn, some of the hardest working people out there. Early degree Virgos will be feeling this the most around this time. And then later degrees at this time may only be getting an inkling of the changes to come. Take care, Virgo, and we'll see you in June.